It's official as we have huge Toronto Blue Jays updates to go over today. And following what has been a great stretch of games, as we all know, for the Jays and the enter a new series tonight, we have some huge information surrounding one particular player. We're going to break down exactly what that is, but also discuss some very other interesting updates and some other things surrounding José Berríos following yesterday's brutal start that is not only rough, but has big implications going forward. A ton to go over today. Before we get into it all, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. You guys have been absolute beasts with the support, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys again for your support over here. Ladies and gentlemen, big series starts tonight against the Pirates against Paul Skeens, and that's going to be a fun one, watching Paul Skeens pitch. But we're going to be diving into something else that's exciting later on in this week, and that is Shane Bieber, folks. As we know, covered this a few days ago, his last rehab start went extremely, extremely well. And ladies and gentlemen, we have some interesting things to go over. As you can see here from Arden Zwelling, along with a few other things to go over today. The Blue Jays' probable starters have been revealed, and it is official regarding their probable starters for this week. It includes Kevin Gausman, Max Scherzer, and Chris Bassett on Monday, Tuesday, and the following Wednesday. So what this means now is that all signs point, you can see here from Arden Zwelling, club has said it wants to keep Shane Bieber on relatively regular rest. Could set up a Blue Jays debut on Friday in Miami. So it's official that he won't be starting this series against the Pirates, and then it sets up for a big series against the Miami Marlins, but most importantly, a Shane Bieber debut this Friday. And man, oh man, is that exciting, because obviously you're going up against the Pirates, a very solid team, obviously, and you get to now potentially have Shane Bieber pitch Friday, which I believe would be on the road. But ladies and gentlemen, I am excited for this. And again, let's dive back into his start a little bit. His last start, he went 7 innings, 90 pitches, gave up no runs on 6 hits. And obviously, you're at a point now in the season where every single start matters. And this was for AAA. This is about as good a rehab start you could possibly have asked for, right? And obviously, you can also see this here just to kind of, reaffirm even further that he's going to be pitching. I think it's confirmed for Friday. This was August 15th, so a few days ago here. He's ready. Surely his next start comes with the Jays. I bet in the Marlins series. That was Keegan a few days ago. And then, of course, Zwelling saying also Friday in Miami. So it's going to be happening Friday in Miami is what all signs point to, and that will keep him on regular rest. But again, he's been so good for this Toronto Blue Jays team in the with the Buffalo Bisons that hopefully I'm not good for the Toronto Blue Jays team. Obviously good for the Buffalo Bisons, but we want him to be rather good with the Toronto Blue Jays team that just get him up, right? He's dominating in AAA. He was dominating in AAA before he got traded to the Toronto Blue Jays. And obviously you're at a point now where this Jays team, not that they desperately need starting pitching, but José Berríos has not been the best as of late, which we'll dive into in a moment. I showed you a few tweets there. You look at some of the depth charts they have in the rotation. It's Berríos, Gausman, Scherzer, Bassett, Lauer. The big question is going to be whether they go to a 6-man rotation. Will they take a guy like José Berríos out of the mix and put him into the bullpen? Like, there's a lot of other ways, and Phantom IL stint for Berríos. What we do know is that, Berríos this year, which we will be diving into in this video, he is very consistent and he's been very rocky as of late. Whereas you look at Shane Bieber, when he pitches, he's also been consistent, but when healthy, he has the upside of being one of the best pitchers in baseball, or the best pitcher in baseball back in 2020. And you need a higher ceiling pitcher at this moment. And that's, of course, what Shane Bieber is going to bring. But, him being basically confirmed back Friday, that's huge for the team. What do they do surrounding the following, or I guess the, subsequent move? Like you can see here, they have their 5 starters. Are they going to go to a 6-man rotation? That was seemingly going to be the option there for a while. But I want to touch on José Berríos. Now, let's dive into this. His last 50 innings pitched, he has a 5.07 ERA with a 6.37 expected ERA. Some bad advanced analytics, giving up a ton of home runs, home run a game. It's been bad, and somehow his numbers have still been, okay. And I just showed you them there. Like his career numbers, season numbers, they've all been solid. And this isn't to hate on José Berríos by any means. Every team needs this, right? A workhorse who's going to start every single game of the year, going to give you almost 200 innings a year every year, and that's what Berríos has done. But this team is in a unique situation. They are competing for a pennant. They are trying to win the American League East, and at that point, like, obviously you're going to bring Shane Bieber in. That's a no-brainer. But what do you do surrounding the move? Do you, move a guy like Eric Lauer to the long relief role? I don't think you can. He's been the best starting pitcher on this staff. You're obviously not going to do anything with Max Scherzer. Kevin Gausman, not going to do anything with him. Chris Bassett, there's some rumblings about that. But following Berríos' start, people are starting to talk about this. You can see here from Johnny, of Gate 14. I love José Berríos and appreciate the consistency in his Toronto Blue Jays career. Never missed a start. Unfortunately, it seems like he's hurt or he has arm fatigue, which is hurting this baseball team right now. A tough conversation is going to had to be had about the rest of the year. I'm not fully ready to, say that he's done for the year and overreact too far in that way. I'm not saying that Johnny's overreacting. He's perfectly, within his right to do so. And he's also not wrong. Like, he's been really bad. He's probably dealing with arm fatigue. The advanced analytics in the past 50 innings were also bad. But you're at a point now where it's like, Berrios has been a beast for a while, but he hasn't been great the past, few games. You are having Shane Bieber return, folks, and Shane Bieber is an elite pitcher. You're having him return in all likelihood on Friday, which would line up around the José Berríos type start. Are they going to, is Berrios actually hurt? So it wouldn't be a phantom IL. It'd be arm fatigue, and they put him on the IL. But would Berrios want to do that? He hasn't missed a start in his Jays career. Like, there's a lot of, intangibles here. There's a lot of tangible things. There's a lot of things behind the scenes, and that's going to be the big question mark. But the good news is, despite Berrios, struggling, and if there was going to be a time where you have it, starting pitcher struggle, now would be a good time because you have one of the best pitchers we've seen in a while in Shane Bieber when healthy, not only in the Blue Jays, but ready to go and coming off of what has been some fantastic starts. So let me know down below. What do you think they're going to do? Do you want to see José Berríos, who's been bad in his last 50 innings pitched? Do you want to see him be, placed in the IL if he's hurt or something like that? Do you want to see them rock a 6-man rotation? See if that helps out some of the guys, although it might throw off some of the rhythm for a guy like Kevin Gausman, who's been absolutely elite as of late, Max Scherzer, who's been absolutely elite as of late. I don't think Max Scherzer, despite being 41, despite dealing with health issues and thumb issues, is going to want to be placed on the 6-man rotation. I don't think a lot of starting pitchers like that. I think they're all used to their routine. I think they all prefer their routine. And ultimately, I think their routine is critical to them. It's a big question to be had. They're going to have a talk within. We know Chris Bassett has said, I believe, before that he's open to potentially, being a 6-man rotation or going to the bullpen rather. So that's something to keep in mind. But let me know down below what your thoughts are on all this, folks. But it's official. It's going to be happening. And his next start's going to come with the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's move on to a couple other things here before we wrap up. Thomas Hall kind of goes back to what I was just talking about. You can see here from Thomas Hall, lots of baseball left to play, of course, but it'll be interesting to see how these final weeks shape up. For the Jays rotation. Shane Bieber, Kevin Gausman, and Max Scherzer seem like locks for the potential ALDS. That'd leave one spot open. Let me know down below also now, because we're getting closer to that time, where you think the Jays rotation would be to start the LDS. I think it would be Bieber. It'd probably be Gausman, Scherzer, Bieber if I had to put my money on it right now. In that order, game 1, game 2, game 3, obviously depending on matchups and things like that. But either way, that's really good, and that does leave a spot open. I don't think it's going to be. It might be Eric Lauer, but I don't think it's going to be José Berríos. I don't think you trust him to start a playoff game. His highs and lows are too far in between. Like, Berríos could blow up at any time and give up 5-6 runs like he did today. Eric Lauer hasn't done that this year. Even his Dodger start where he was getting hit around, he only gave up 3 or 4. I believe it was 4 runs, maybe even 3 runs. You have less risk with him compared to Berríos. Well, obviously, have to see what else they do there. And you think back to these rough series against the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Rangers, the Jays came out 5-4, and they didn't even lose a game on the Red Sox in yesterday's loss because they choked against the Marlins. And overall, the team's vibes, are very high. The team's a beast right now. They are a wagon, and hopefully we can continue doing that. But that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.